I do love that you were apparently a method actor, that you were so into this role that you had a child so that you could prepare for the role of Noah. That's amazing.
Yeah, just
Just doing everything for your art. I love it.
exactly. I'm like, baby, sorry, preparations. We just, yeah, we got it.
Hey everyone, it's David Stark from Watcher Pass. Today I'm talking to Dimitri Vegas Thivaios, the star of Hazard, which is coming to theaters, digital, and on demand in the States on May 10th, 2024. I'm going to talk to him right now. And while you're watching, if you can like and subscribe to this channel, that would be fantastic. I'll spend a lot. Thank you. So, thanks so much for joining me today. I've got Dimitri Vegas Thivaios, the star of Hazard, which is coming to theaters, digital, and on demand in the States on May 10th, 2024. It is a new heist comedy that involves a very nice car, Vegas's great driving ability, and a whole lot of danger and misadventure. It is a fun movie. I really enjoyed your performance, so I'm very excited to talk to you, and thanks so much for joining me.
Hey, thanks for having me. Glad
Of
you
course.
liked the movie.
Yeah, no, it was fun. It was very different. I didn't really know what to expect, but it definitely has some twists and turns and not just on the road, so it was fun to see.
Yeah, we set out to do something out of the box, and I have to hand it to Jonas, the director. Like he delivered. What can I say? He made me look good.
Well, I think that's partly you too, but yeah, no, it definitely looks like you got some big skill in there, which was fun.
Thanks, man.
And definitely for you mentioned outside the box. I loved how like the movie is you and the car, but the car almost becomes like a character in this film. Like the damage that happens to the car like hurts you your character, and then hurts the viewer personally as you watch this beautiful thing slowly get destroyed over the course of the movie.
Yeah, I think that was Jonas's idea to like really make it a character, as you say, and like for him, the movie was also symbolized how everything for me personally in the movie just all went to shit. And I think also the finale, without wanting to spoil it, obviously, uh, is also a symbolism of yeah,
Yeah. Of
Noah
like a
character.
rebirth almost, or like a refocus, I guess. Yeah. So really curious, how did you get involved in this? I mean, I know you've been in some movies in the past, but you're not doing a ton of movies. How did you get involved in this specific project?
Well, it was actually a little pandemic project, to be honest. Like I knew Jonas, I met Jonas, I think 2019. I really loved what he did with Cub, and we just one day I just hit him up on Instagram and like, dude, I love your movie. Let's have dinner in Antwerp. Yeah, let's just hang. And we really connected because like I'm a big horror movie fan. He's a big horror movie fan. And we were always just sending ideas and scripts back and forth. And then the pandemic hit, and he's like, "Yo, you should read this." I also sent him something. I was like, I read it. I'm like, "Whoa, this is yeah," because the original script is was even set in LA, to be honest.
Oh wow,
Uh,
that was fun.
yeah, the original script that Trent did was in LA. It was also very dark, very gritty. And I'm like, dude, this is crazy. And he's like, oh, how would you? And I thought maybe like, is he gonna offer me a small part in the movie? He's like, how would you feel like, yeah, doing the lead? And I honestly, I was honored. And we set out to see uh, who would do the movie with us. And for some reason, because I think this is the movie that just came together. I mean, the fastest movie that came together in Belgian history. Like, I think from me reading the scripts to the rewrites to the production, starting the production, I think was less than a year.
Oh wow.
And on Belgian terms, that is pretty fast. We hit a delay due to some yeah, personal stuff that happened to me right before the shoot because my dad passed away
Oh wow.
uh, two days
That's
before we started shooting.
oh my gosh, that's terrible. Like I'm
Yeah,
glad
yeah,
like
I'm
that's
still,
awful.
yeah, I mean, I'm still super grateful that Jonas and Peter, the producer, yeah, they immediately decided to move it to August. Because yeah, for me, like I even told them like, listen, I'll do it, but yeah, just that just kind of turned my world upside down. And then normally my son was scheduled to be born after the movie shoot, but then because the movie moved to August, my son was born before the movie, so I was at home with a newborn when I started filming. And like I say to a lot of people, like for me, somehow the crazy part is all the stuff that happened, the good and the bad. I think it would have been a totally different performance and a different Noah if I would have shot the movie when we were originally intending to shoot it. So that's yeah, it's still pretty crazy how all that turned out.
Yeah, it might have been a very darker, a much darker movie if you were going through those emotions of your dad just passing while you're filming this. And I do love that
Also,
you,
but even imagine just shooting the movie and my dad being fine and shooting the movie before I would actually become a dad. Like it gave me a lot more emotional baggage to yeah
yeah,
uh cry
no, for
from.
sure.
Yeah.
I completely understand. Like I used to not cry in movies when like things happen to kids, and now, after you become a parent, you're like, it hits you more emotionally. I do love that you are apparently a method actor, that you were so into this role that you had a child so that you could prepare for the role of Noah. That's amazing.
Yeah, just
Just doing everything for your art. I love it.
exactly. I'm like, baby, sorry, preparations. We just yeah, we got it.
So, I'm curious also, like, why acting? Is it just something you always wanted to do? I mean, you're already a performer and a very big performer. Is this just another type of performance that you were interested in doing, or is this something you've like loved since you were a kid?
Yeah, 100%. Like for me, this acting was my first love. Obviously, growing up in Belgium, especially in the 90s, I mean, the movie scene here was virtually non-existent. So then I decided to do a normal job and become a DJ. Then
As
yeah,
you do.
yeah, exactly. But
Just your
then
9 to 5 DJ job.
so I thought, let me just do something that is realistic, easy, and normal. So then I became a DJ. No, I mean, I think it was in 2015 when we became number one DJs of the world. We went from WME to CAA and CAA. We had this first meeting, and they were like, "Okay, but what else do you want to do as apart from DJing? How can we help you in a broader thing?" I'm like, "Listen, I would really love to start acting," and they put me on a path of getting acting lessons, doing dialect coach, doing all that stuff, and it was a big motivation, and it's been a grind for a couple of years because I respect actors so much. I think the fact that you have to do all these auditions and you get so many rejections and like it gets really personal. Like when you release a song uh, or you do a show, there's a lot of things that can work, can't work, but it's most of the time it's like sort of a team thing, and you can like. But if you do an audition, even though there's maybe 100 reasons why you didn't get the role, and it's not because you're a shitty actor, but if you didn't get the role, it's very hard to not look in the mirror and be like, shit, like
Yeah.
it's tough, it's personal. So and I have to be honest, like the more I learn now, the more I realize how much more I have to learn. Like I know when I immediately started with it, I'm like, I'll just do some acting. Like it just like after all these years of classes and auditions and experience, like I feel like I still have so much more to learn. But I'm really passionate about it.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And I love that you are constantly trying to improve your craft, right? Like you know enough to know like what you need to work on to be better and know like how to become a better actor, which is great. Like I'm glad that you were able to get that experience where you can diversify. And I've also found that it seems like a lot of, musicians, performers do translate very well into acting. I think maybe because you're in front of the camera, you're used to video shoots, you're used to kind of like being on stage and having a persona. So that probably helps
I mean,
greatly.
it's I think maybe in a way also, I've been DJing since I was 12 years old. I'm about to turn 42. Uh,
You don't look it.
Thank you. Well, I know DJing inside out. Like for me, I love my job. Uh, but I mean, I don't have stage fright whatsoever. You could tell me now you have show in 2 minutes. There's 100,000 people waiting. I just that's not something that works for me. Like I can just do it and have no issue with that. And I still love what I do. But with acting, it's like like in a new girlfriend, or I don't know what the better experience is. And when I'm standing in front of a camera, and I just the scene has just been wrapped all of a sudden. Like when I walk off the stage, nobody needs to tell me like it was a good show, was a bad show. I'll know. Like And if the scene is done, I'm like a 12-year-old kid to the director. Is like, it's good, right? You want me to do it again? Want me to do it different? You know, like it's a sort of a sparkle and an insecurity and yeah, like a fresh
It's a fresh challenge. It's
love.
something,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
It's something you can keep testing yourself with, which is always
yeah,
that gives you a different feeling, gives you kind of a new challenge, something to kind of get better at, which is
exactly,
yeah,
exactly. And diving into a role and dissecting it from it, like the whole thing around it, like yeah, I love it.
that's awesome. That is really cool. And one thing about this role that I don't know if you've done this in previous movies, but you had to drive, you at least had to drive some. I don't know how much driving you actually did, but you had to drive at least some. Did you prep for that as well? Did you take driving lessons, or are you just naturally a good, city race driver?
I mean, I'm a pretty good driver. Now, the thing is, I don't want to overtake credit because we really had a really good system for the movie. Like I had like a hybrid system, and you know, like you never see the outside of the car, and the roof of the car. They actually constructed sort of a go kart on there, and we had a stunt driver on the car assisting me with like the crazy turns and everything. But everything moved in real time, so it just looked all very real. It was up to me to not just like it's a very weird sensation when you're like going through the streets and it's crazy and you feel like you're driving, but all of a sudden you're like, yeah, it goes in different directions and it's like, oh, yeah.
I mean, that is awesome. And, I'm glad that you didn't have to do that all yourself and that you had some assistance, but that is also fairly scary that
I
you were
mean, I
going through and
insisted in the beginning. I'm like, I don't feel we need the stunt drivers and everything. But then if I look back now at some of the stuff that we did, it would have probably worked. I might have wrecked a car or two. I think we would have also taken a lot more time. You
Mhm.
know, you have to be honest. Like it's like these guys, yeah, they're crazy. They're super trained, and thanks to that, you know, like the shoot of the movie was we did long hours and we didn't do that many shooting days. There was really no room for error.
Yeah, and also, like you said, this is a new challenge, so it's good that you didn't have to focus on too many new things to you focus on acting while you look comfortable driving and you didn't have to like split your
Exactly.
attention. Yeah.
And don't forget, like a lot of the scenes were shot in the streets of Antwerp, so we had a couple of near accidents. So that I would think that you know, like we'd have a harder time shooting that in LA. Let's put it like that. Let's say in
Yeah.
Antwerp, the police is a little bit chiller.
Yeah, for sure. And one other thing I liked about this movie, the music soundtrack is actually really fun. I was curious, like, did you have any input in the music for this movie, given your background and given what you do?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to take full credit for it. It's between me and Jonas, the director. But uh, in the beginning, I kind of suggested like let's give the movie a '90s feeling without making it a '90s movie. And you know, because Antwerp is very gritty, like you know, like it has that feeling, and it just felt for me like making the soundtrack like an homage to the '90s rave scene, you know, like where it all started in Europe. Uh, just felt so right for this movie because I could have chosen the easy way and be like, you know what, I'll produce the music of the movie, and then all of a sudden it becomes a big EDM
Hmm.
current kind of sound thing, which could have also worked, but I felt like I didn't want to make music myself, but I felt I wanted to curate it. So we made a big playlist of all the '90s anthems that I felt that would resonate for the movie, and then just Jonas dove right into it. And yeah, we had a lot of back and forth. We might have not agreed on everything. It was a lot of conversation, but I'm ultimately really proud.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I'm glad that you were able to kind of like give him your suggestions, but then it ultimately became his movie. I know we have limited time. I'm going to switch to a lightning round. They're just lightweight questions about the film. I want to see how your personal experiences map to things in the movie. You can feel free to skip any of them. I will not be offended, but I try to keep them very answerable.
Okay.
First question. This movie involves a very nice car. What kind of car do you drive?
G-Wagon.
Very nice. Very nice. What is your dream car? Maybe it's a G-Wagon. I don't know.
You know, ironically, I'm not that big of a car freak. You know, like I know a lot of my colleagues, they're like big car guys and they got like 20 cars in their garage. I never really like even the G-Wagon is my wife's dream car. when I bought the new car, I'm like, let me just make her happy and buy her dream car. Like for me, like, I really like the G wagon now, but I can't really say like, oh, this is my
I can
ultimate car.
I love the years of experience that you have. Like, you bought your wife's favorite car to make her happy because you were just like, it's fine, whatever. Like, as long as you're happy. That's a very
Yeah,
smart move.
happy wife, happy life. No,
Exactly. This movie also involves a child car seat that is put in and out. Do you have a child car seat in your car?
yes.
All right. Do you have any cracks in your windshield?
Ironically, since today, I do.
Oh no. Oh, that's so terrible. I'm so sorry.
I just went to the restaurant this afternoon, and I hit up my wife. I'm like, "What happened to the window?" Yes, I actually have a big crack in my window. Yes.
Oh no. Oh, hopefully you can get it fixed easier than
Yeah.
than Noah in the movie. When was the last time you had your car like detailed or fully cleaned or, just given, yeah.
Yeah, I asked my assistant to kind of do it weekly, and so it happens quite often. But I'm not like Noah, where I'm like, oh, no food in the car. Like I honestly, again, no car freak, so I can't really. My wife is more obsessed with keeping it clean than I am.
Yeah, and when with kids, you can only do that so much until they need food, and then it just ends up everywhere. So, this movie also involves holding your breath for a long time. How long can you hold your breath?
I would have to go back, but I think it's the test was there with the underwater shooting. I think I did a little bit under 2 minutes with
That's
movements.
that's
Yeah,
legit. Yeah, that's good.
yeah, I was surprised.
Very nice. Um, so what is on your car's personal like playlist when you're driving? Maybe it's a bunch of songs, but like, do you have any like go-to songs on your car playlist?
Might sound funny, but in general, I don't listen to music in the car that much because I work so much on music that most of the time when I'm in the car or I'm on a call or I just want quiet, what I do listen to, if I listen to something in the car, it's like old movie themes. And my 3 year old son now just picked up the same habit. Like the first thing he says when we step into the car is like, "Daddy, play the dinosaur song," and then I just have to play the Jurassic Park theme over and over and over and over again. So
That is a great theme, and I do love like coming through your like original love of mu movies is like coming back in interesting ways. I love that. And the last most important question, are you going to incorporate Don Carlito's Everything is Whiffy into a future play set, a future DJ set that you do?
we played with that idea. It didn't happen yet, but who knows? Like the thing is that it's a really, really offensive song. Like even the full version, because we cut it even in the title song, the full version is even more offensive. And we were going back and forth. Should we release it? Shouldn't we release it? And at the end, Jeroen, who wrote it, he backed out. He's like, dude, he didn't want to get canceled, so he's like, let's just not.
Well, I mean that makes sense. Yeah, you might have to like censor a little bit of it. It
Yeah,
is it is a unique sound. Also, it
yeah,
is
yeah.
definitely a unique song.
Yeah, it
Uh,
was interesting keeping a straight face when he was performing that. Yeah, imagine him in front of you rapping and then just not. Yeah,
yeah,
that took some.
a couple takes probably. So the movie is Hazard. It's out in the United States, in theaters and digital and on demand on May 10th, 2024. You are out promoting the movie in your busy schedule, but after this movie's out, do you have any other future movie projects that people can look forward to? Do you have anything in line?
Well, I just did a part in I know it's a Wonderful Knife. It's a Christmas slasher, and
Yes, that sounds awesome.
that was fun. And there was a couple of things I was supposed to shoot, but it all kind of got pushed back because of the strikes. Now I just kind of have to fit two things into a very crazy summer of 4 to 6 shows per week. I kind of have to find a couple of days to shoot two projects. So, but there's new stuff coming.
Okay, that sounds amazing, amazing and exhausting. I am glad that you are able to work your movies into your very busy life, but that sounds very exhausting.
It's irony. I
Yeah.
had a very quiet start of the year. Usually January, February, March are pretty quiet, and somehow it just all got back to the busiest time of the year. But you know what? It's fun, so I'm happy to do it.
Yeah, no, you clearly love it, so I'm glad that you're able to kind of work it into your life. But while you wait for those movies and maybe go to one of his shows over the summer, you can check out Hazard in theaters and digital on demand on May 10th, 2024. This is the star of the movie, Dimitri Vegas Thivaios. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me.
That was Dimitri Vegas Thivaios talking about Hazard, which comes to theaters, digital, and on demand in the United States on May 10th, 2024. It is a new kind of like heist action comedy that has a really beautiful car, a great performance by Dimitri Vegas, and a lot of danger and misadventure. I liked a lot about it, and I really like Dimitri Vegas's performance. If you like this interview, please like and subscribe to this channel. It helps you out a lot to make sure all my new content goes straight to you. Thank you.